So we're back. Some wild fucking news. Wild fucking news. I just wanted to make a video on this because this is insane. I don't want to be making videos about like constant news and shit, but this is wild. I just want to talk about it. So WWE's released and parted ways with more talent in the last few hours. Main ones are obviously Jeff Cobb. Well, the main four I've seen are Jeff Cobb, Tonga Loa, sorry. And the main ones is Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. They left. Jeff Cobb and Tonga Loa released, I believe. Now, to touch on Jeff Cobb real quick, Jeff Cobb's a fucking demon. That guy, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't think he goes back to New Japan with the shit that he pulled. He didn't come AEW in the first place. Probably will go. I think he'll go nowhere. Someone like Noah or maybe even All Japan. I don't fucking know. Totally own. I hope not. Totally own is the boy. Tonga Loa, however, I don't really care. People just meme on him. The main ones, however, the New Day, Xavier Woods, and specifically Kofi Kingston, insane, absolutely insane, and I don't want to overshadow Xavier Woods. I think Xavier Woods is a great wrestler. I think he's a great personality. I think there's a lot there. He's obviously out of the group, him, Biggie, and Kofi is the one with the least accolades, but the guy's a pioneer in terms of the YouTube stuff and stuff like that. The guy's going to be fine, and obviously Austin Creed getting WWE to use that name throughout his entire career, just through up, down, down. Phenomenal work. It's going to be set. And he'll probably end up the same place with Kofi. But I just want to talk about Kofi in this sense because, as much I think it's very not obvious, but I think it's very clear that this will be an AEW signing. I think the fact that they left again with Kenny, Kenny and Xavier Woods have got a great relationship, and obviously Xavier Woods, kind of is not part from that mold, but he fits in that world. It makes sense to put Xavier Woods there, and I hope it gets best, and I hope Kofi sticks with him because the guy deserves it. But specifically Kofi, this is a guy who's, I think it was 19 years. I saw 19 years in the Fed, and to leave and that heel turn they did was incredible. I remember watching that. That's when I was still watching WWE, and I was like, that's actually incredible. And the way they fumbled it was insane, and just it's a shame. And Kofi specifically is that's a guy that should have been a lifer. There's no way he shouldn't be a lifer. That's an important figure in wrestling, 100%. And not in the sense of just, because he won the title and shit like that. No shock, I'm white, and I don't want to really make this such a race thing or whatever. But what Kofi Kingston specifically did for modern day wrestling, for black people specifically, is incredible. It really is, and it shouldn't be overstated. Same with a lot of other black wrestlers. I'm not trying to just give it to Kofi, but most of the time when you fall to a black wrestler, my era, my demographic, my age group, it was Kofi Kingston, and that's not even just going from the fact of how good he was as a wrestler. You know what I mean? Kofi's infamous for doing the fucking the incredible Royal Rumble spots. People look forward to seeing Kofi Kingston, and Kofi Mania alone. I don't get me wrong, I weren't a fan when Kofi Mania was around. I wasn't watching wrestling then. But Jesus, it's an incredible moment, and it's a real shame just to see that kind of, AEW fan perspective, happy. I'm happy for the sense of, that's good for, the company that I like Kofi Kingston, stuff like that. But from an actual, non-biased perspective, I feel like that is kind of sad. I do. Because not the fact of, I feel like it's kind of a shame to cut ends like this too. I feel like if you're going to end Kofi Kingston's time, do it in a celebration that it frankly deserves. There's very few wrestlers of the modern era that deserves a send-off that Kofi should have got. And that's a fact. It truly is. And it's a shame. And there's clearly, and I think the bigger topic is there's clearly some shit. And obviously, people watching WWE will say it's not good but still watch it, but they at least acknowledge it's not good, and obviously they probably will be losing viewers because people are sick of the shit. And it just I think Kofi Kingston leaving is one of the biggest shocks I've seen in a while, overall in wrestling in a while. And again, not being fired, leaving. R-Truth was fired, this guy's leaving. It's insane. And I respect it a fuck ton. I do. I think it's very much betting on yourself. I think it's very much you're showing you've got the balls. Go for it. You know what I mean? You know your value, and I really respect them for doing that. I do. The pair of them, and I would love them to show up in AEW because, frankly, specifically for Xavier Woods as well, but for Kofi as well, he'll be appreciated. And from a point of just a wrestling standpoint, you know, tag teams, they're great, you know, and obviously MCMG probably joining, touch words, and you know, the tag team in AEW, it's cooking, they'll fit perfectly. I'm all for that. It's just, I just think it's wild for Kofi Kingston to leave like that. And again, it's truly symbolic of there's some shit. That's some shit. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I believe a competitive place is always a better place in terms of, like, not even just one industry, but, you know, across the industry more rather. I want WWE to do well. I want AEW to do well. I want all the companies to do well, so they push each other. It just, you know, it's facts. That's how shit works. And I think I don't want to say it's a shame for WWE to go like this, because it's not. The way they fund themselves, it's their own fault, but also ethically, they're a piece of shit. But I don't know, I feel like this is a shame. This feels very bittersweet to me. You know, personal preference, happy. I really am happy that most likely Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston will be going to AEW, and the pop alone is going to be incredible. But Jesus, just for Kofi Kingston to leave alone, it's insane. It's beyond words at points, and I'm really surprised. I'm really shocked, to be honest, and I feel like I just don't know how to feel. I feel like it's not real. I feel like it isn't real, and for one, like MJF's commented on it, you know, and Cash Wheeler commented on it. Like, it looks clear to see that they're joining AEW, but I just feel like there's something. I just don't know. I'm happy, but I'm also feeling like, oh, like that's. I just feel like the guy, how the impact he's had, the figurehead he is. Again, I'm not African American. I'm not African, stuff like that. I've got no melanin. You know what I mean? I've got plenty of black wrestling content creators that I follow, and you know H and BJ Dixon specifically. Shout out those kids too. You know, they probably have a bit more of a stronger opinion in this, just from a representational point and the impact that Kofi Kingston's done for them. And I just think, again, that's what it gets for me. Again, all four of them, what we talk about, you know, maybe not Tongaloa or the fuck, but Jeff Cobb being released makes sense. Happy for the guy, because Jeff Cobb was non-existent, and, you know, rest in peace Jeff Cobb. But, you know, I just wonder where he goes. I'd happily take him in AEW, but it's like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? I'm not surprised, but it's just wow. But specifically the New Day, specifically Kofi, it's like, wow, just wow. Again, I respect it, fuck ton. I do. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this goes, and there's going to be a lot of shit that probably comes out the next few days about this, but fair play. Fair fucking play. Shame that he doesn't get the send-off, but fair play to the guy for betting on himself. All power to them. So yeah, that's my thoughts on there, that specifically Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods getting released, or leaving, sorry. But yeah, let me know what you think. What's your opinion on Kofi and Xavier, and do you think they will go AEW, and what do you think happens? Because Kofi Kingston leaving, insane. That's insane.